Welcome to Hello Nigeria. It is time for our first celebrity guest. This is a man who is no stranger to you here on our platform. He's been here with us from the very beginning, and somebody who I like to personally call friend. His name is IKENNA NNAEBUE. He's a creative director and winner of the Human Rights Film Festival for Best Narrative Film, and also the city producer of the 48 Hours Film Project here in Lagos. Thank you so much for joining us, IKE.
Nice to have you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
So I think, first of all, congratulations are in order. You recently won an award.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Okay, so I think you just mixed it up. The human rights thing was just nominated.
Okay.
It's happening next week.
Oh,
so we don't know if
Don't worry, you'll win.
You will win. You already prophesied.
We already prophesied.
Do we need to vote?
Yeah, no. It's not. It's non-voting.
Oh, so they have to say, oh, we already prophesied.
So, but the one we won
first.
was Newark International Film Festival, which is
Okay.
a big deal, because it's
In New Jersey.
In Newark, and it's an Oscar-accredited festival.
Wow.
And then we won out of a lot of, I think about 48 entries from around the world, and so it's a big deal.
That's worthy of celebration.
It is actually.
So what particular movie won you that?
It's called Sink or Swim.
Sink or Swim.
Yeah.
So can you give us the synopsis?
Okay, so Sink or Swim is a story about illegal migration and, what do you call it? Human trafficking, right?
Oh,
so
very relevant.
Yeah, so we told a story about people trying to leave Africa to go to Europe by road, through the Sahara Desert, and then through the Mediterranean Sea and all of that, and all the stress and all the dangers and everything that, goes with it. So it's actually a big story.
Very important.
It's Sink or Swim that is still nominated for the Human Rights.
Yes, it's the same film. It's the same film.
And it tells a very poignant story, very relevant.
Very relevant.
It's happening, and it's nice that you can put it in visual form.
Because basically, it's interesting that I was actually even hired to do the job, even before the producers got to know that I actually had an experience myself, when I was growing up.
Oh, you wanted to greener pastures.
You know what I mean?
Green was,
yeah.
Did you actually make the move?
Yes. I've actually been very, very adventurous. So when I turned 20, I set up with a few friends of mine, and then, but I didn't, go all the way to Morocco and all of that. We basically ended up in Mali, then Senegal, then we went to Gambia, and then I stayed a bit in Gambia and then came back.
Wow, interesting. I like that you're telling this story.
Known, and now you've seen the whole world. Yeah, when it's
very
your time,
important,
it's your time.
yes.
Yeah.
Filmmaking would always be an avenue for us to tell stories and to drive the message home. With regards to this issue of illegal migration, we talk about the fact that people often try. They don't understand the risks inherent. We see tons of people dying every day on the Mediterranean Sea. So thank you so much for sharing that story and passing a message across with your movie. Now let's talk about the different hats you wear. You wear the hats of a film director, a producer, a screenwriter. Which would you say is your most challenging hat to wear, and which would you say is your favorite?
This is a very interesting question, right? It's supposed to be easy to answer, but all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I don't have a ready answer for it. Most challenging, because actually, all the hats, like as you put it, come to me naturally. So when I'm wearing, whatever hat I'm wearing, it's just, in fact, sometimes it's not like I'm wearing, it's like the hats decide when to wear me. So I'm like, maybe I'm sleeping and then I'm, having a dream about a story, probably just watching a film in my dream, and then I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm writing, so it's easy.
Are there times you combine different roles?
Yeah, most times I realize that most of my movies that people like the most are the ones that I actually wrote.
Have you ever been behind the camera, in front of the camera?
Yes, I do, once in a while.
You don't look
Do you do like Waka Pass roles?
No, I'm a very good actor.
Do
you want to see me act?
I would never have thought. I would never have thought.
Why?
Because I just feel you're that person that's always behind.
No, because I love behind the scene. I just love to be able to put stuff together and just kind of direct it and stuff. Because if you're in front of the camera, you're very limited. What kind of roles do I play?
Or have you played in the past?
I've played a Reverend Father in an Uche Jumbo production.
Goes with your personality. So it's,
well, let me say again. I've played a guy in the office that started dating a married woman colleague.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that was actually an extensive role, because it was like a supporting lead basically.
Fantastic.
And I'm very I just don't like to push my acting, right? But people who work with me know. Like, for instance, Uche Jumbo, I always tease her. She only remembers that I'm a good actor when the actor that they've hired for the job doesn't show up. And then we need to shoot. Oh, like, oh, but Flo is here, give him costume. You know.
But you know, the brilliant thing that you've mentioned is the fact that although you can wear several hats, you've decided to focus on the ones that you think you can do the best.
Yes.
Even though you know you're a good actor, you're not a jack of all trades.
Nah,
we
nah.
see that these days everybody wants to be a musician, a singer, and trust me, I'm guilty of it as well. I think like if I wait for like another 2 years, maybe I'm going to hit the studio and drop it like it's hot. Now let's talk about your writing. You mentioned how you see stories in the dreams and you wake up and you start to write. There are many people who have stories in their heads. Now transferring a story from your mind, your imagination, and putting it down is another journey. I have a movie that has been in my head for over a year, you know, well over a year, but actually getting to start writing is the first challenge. Writing and then completing is another challenge. And how are you able to deal with writer's block?
Okay, so step to step on how to get your story from your head to you know, to the paper and then to the screen eventually. First thing you need to do is to be able to describe your story. So a synopsis is the first thing you need to do. It's usually one paragraph, right? So say, so this story is about this guy who is supposed to be on a Good Morning show, Wazobia, Max, and he's driving to VI and then he hits a pregnant woman and then she gives birth in the process, right?
Okay.
That is the story.
I'm already enjoying this.
So that is the story. So you've told the story like that, and then you now need to start to break it down, okay? So you decide how you want to start the story. Do you want to start the story when the guy wakes up in the morning?
Okay.
Right? So you start the story from the beginning, so it's called the ease in. Or you want to start with a bang, you can actually start with the accident, and then you go back and explain the build-up to the accident.
You can go to school for this, right? There's film school.
Obviously.
So, Olive, you need to register. IK's not going to get...
No, it's not just
Quick
Olive.
one,
Now, there
because-
might be people who are watching who might benefit.
Very true. You've been around the world recently. You've traveled extensively. And
I saw the Antigua one.
You're working on quite a massive project. Can you tell us about it?
Okay, so this project is called Loving Daniela. It's a very interesting project. Another project that's very close to my heart because all my projects, well, I try to do topical issues, you know, because I just don't believe in making films for the sake of making, because there's a lot of people making films.
And it makes it last longer, films that have impact.
Exactly.
I mean, that's why you're getting recognition.
Exactly.
So what is Loving Daniela about?
Well, Loving Daniela is a story of a girl called Daniela who has mental challenges. But, you know, it's just kind of borderline mental issues where you see her, she's a pretty girl, she's all smiley and all of that. And that's even attractive to a lot of guys because, you know, a girl is always smiling at you. You'd be like, oh, she's digging me and all that. Yeah. But you don't know that behind that smile is actually a problem. You know, so this guy falls in love with the girl played by Teresa Edem. And then Blossom Chukura falls in love with the, you know, Blossom Chukwujeku falls in love with her, not knowing that, you know, she's cuckoo, kind of. Because she's like 25, but she has a mind of a 7-year-old, basically. You know, so the whole journey of Loving Daniela, you know,
and it's telling that there are people in real life that go through sort of challenges.
Yeah,
so it's highlighting.
Because mental illness is a big issue in Nigeria.
Where's the setting? Where was it shot?
We shot in 3 continents.
And why did you have to go all around the world?
Well,
because
the girl is from a very wealthy family, which is another thing I try to, you know, bring up.
I like to work with you.
So can I officially say that when Ike had the story of Loving Daniela, I was one of the first people that was privy to the story.
Oh, yes!
We had meeting over it.
Yes.
But I could not follow through because I was trying to use this opportunity to publicly apologize before national TV. For not breathing in, and
you would have gone to 3 different countries.
So, Ike, can you now categorically tell my viewers that on the next project, we are meeting over that one and we are working together?
Well, yes, we would. I mean, like, you know, like we tried to meet on this other one and I was waiting. Yeah. You're my friend. You're my.
Okay, so yeah, I just set Ike up on live TV, and if it doesn't happen, I will definitely.
And by the way, congratulations on the work you did with Teresa. She kept going on and on about, you know, how it was wonderful working with you.
Thank you, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's been good to have you here. We look forward to having you again, and we look forward to you winning this award and breaking Nigeria proud on the international map.
Thank you. Can I do a shout out to my producer for the Sink or Swim? Because, you know, if not that they put the whole budget. It's a big budget. They put it on me and all of that. We wouldn't be here, basically. So I'd like to say shout out to Prince Richard, Moby, and Ajete Anang, the producers of the film. And I need to do this shout out because it's not every day you find producers who are willing to put in so much,
It's a risk.
It's so much. Yes. This film is almost over 2 years now, and we're not even talking about releasing. We're just doing festivals
I was going to ask about
stuff.
that.
And I like the fact that you're taking your time. Here we see a lot of rushed movies, but thank you so much for joining us. Wish you all the best with this movie and many more ideas.
Thank you.
We've been speaking with IKENNA NNAEBUE, who is an award-winning screenwriter, director, movie producer, and he's come to share with us his journey and given a few tips for those of you who deal with writer's block. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, remember that the show will still be on. Follow him on Instagram and Twitter at IKENNA NNAEBUE1.
No.
Okay, IKENNA NNAEBUE. Fantastic. All right, follow him, ask him whatever questions you want, and we'll be right back after this break.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love am.